4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is
Record.
Studio Classroom. Studio Classroom.
Please stand by.
A classroom. Studio Classroom. Studio Classroom. Studio Classroom.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Hello friends, I'm so glad you're joining us here at Studio Classroom on the air. And I know your English will improve today. My name is Gabe. Now here's a question for you. Who do you like to surround yourself with? Do you like to only spend time with people your age? Do you spend time with older people? Younger? What about this? Who do you go to for advice? The title of today's lesson is The King Who Hated Old People. There are some who hate old people, and that's really sad for many reasons. One reason is that there is so much to learn from our elders that we can't learn from those our own age. So let's continue learning about the king who hated old people.
The King Who Hated Old People. One of the young advisors hid his father in a secret room in his house. "I cannot send you away, father," he said. "You gave me everything as I was growing up," he told his father. "Now it is my turn to take care of you." A short time later, a messenger came from a powerful kingdom. He told the king, "My master sends me with a message. This is a stick from a young tree in the forest.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. 首先我们看的是 advisor 这个名词，我们昨天有学过它的动词 advice， 意思是指提供意见或建议。这里的 advisor 是指提供意见的人，也就是顾问，也有人拼成 advisor。例如 This entrepreneur used to be one of the Prime Minister's economic advisors. 这位企业家曾经是首相的财经顾问之一。或者是 The career advisor gave the student a personality test during their first session. 这位就业辅导在第一次跟这个学生会面时，给他做了一次性格测验。继续我们看的是 messenger 这个名词 ，mess 这个字根有派遣的意思，所以 messenger 是指使者、信差或者是送信者。例如 This confidential document was carried by a foot messenger. 这份机密文件是由一位步行的信差带在身上的。Messenger 在军队中也指所谓的传令兵。例如 The general sent a messenger to ask for reinforcements. 这位将军派了传令兵去要求援兵。
Thank you, Michelle. Well, friends, at the end of yesterday's lesson, we learned that many people were crying because all of their parents were sent away. Except for one person. And we read about him here. One of the young advisors hid his father in a secret room in his house. Okay, so this new king has surrounded himself with youthful people, these guys, and they are also advisors, okay? So they're also giving this king advice. And it sounds like this young advisor was pretty wise.
It definitely sounds that way. He says, "I cannot send you away, father. You gave me everything as I was growing up," he told his father.
That's right. So he is really appreciative. He really appreciates his father. I'm sure all the other people did as well, but they were just trying to follow the king's orders. However, perhaps this guy, this young advisor, could even tell his father, "You taught me everything I know." You like that phrase, Rebecca?
I like that phrase. You taught me everything I know.
And this is a fun phrase. You just use it to show how much influence somebody has had on your life. Maybe they didn't teach you everything you know, but they taught you so much, they may as well have taught you everything you know. They really influenced your life.
However, you can also use this phrase. Let's say that you're at work and you're getting ready to leave the office, and then you talk to your boss. Because let's say that you've been working together for a long time, maybe 10 or 12 years, and you just wanted to show how much you appreciate your boss. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. You've taught me everything that I know, at least in that particular situation.
And I think it's great when you can be at a job where other people teach you a lot of things that you can use in your future career as well. So friends, remember this phrase. Think of some time to use it. You taught me everything I know. Or, wow, he or she taught me everything I know.
And our lesson says, now it's my turn to take care of you. All right, before we continue on, there's a phrase that we would like to talk about, and that is to return a favor. Would you say that this son is returning his father a favor? Are you returning a favor to his father?
It kind of sounds like it. Yeah, it kind of sounds like it. And so he has an attitude of respect for his father, for his elders, right? We usually use this phrase to talk about specific things that you do for somebody else. So if someone does something nice for you or to you, you want to do something nice to them because they did something nice or kind to you. So you are returning the favor.
Right. So, for example, let's say that somebody fixed your car. You might say, thank you so much for fixing my car. One day, I will return you the favor, and I'll be able to do something that will help you.
That's right. Friends, it's a great thing to return favors, all right? You don't have to. If someone did something willingly just to help you and they didn't want you to pay them, then it's fine, but it's a nice thing to think about how you can return a favor.
But you know, Gabe, I do think it's also important that as people, we do learn how to receive gifts from others. Because sometimes we think that if someone gives us a gift, we have to return the favor, and we are obligated to do something nice in return.
That's right. Sometimes if someone does something nice for us, we think it's our obligation to do something nice for them. But Rebecca, you make a good point. And I like that word we were just talking about, friends. An obligation is something that you feel like you need to do or that you must do.
And of course, we can use this phrase in different ways. For example, let's say that someone asks you, are you able to come to the movies today? You might respond by saying, sorry, I actually have another obligation. Meaning that they have something else going on, so they can't go to the movies.
That's right. Perhaps they promised somebody else or another group of people that they would join them. Even though they really want to go to the movies, they have a previous obligation. Okay, this is a great word to know. Think about the things in your life that are obligations, and try to think about the things that maybe you think are obligations, but actually you have a choice in the matter. Maybe they're not an actual obligation.
Ooh, that's a really good point. Because sometimes we do something because we feel obligated to do it, when in fact, we have the choice whether or not we want to do it. Well, our lesson continues. A short time later, a messenger came from a powerful kingdom. He told the king, my master sends me with a message. This is a stick from a young tree in the forest. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen.
I know, what's up with that? So we've got this prince who has surrounded himself with young advisors. One young advisor has kept his father hidden away in his house, and now a messenger is introduced to the story with a stick.
A stick. I wonder what this stick has to do with the story and carrots. Carrot and stick?
What do you mean carrots and stick? Why are you bringing... Now we're bringing carrots into the lesson?
Well, let's learn more about this in the
Info Cloud.
Hello and welcome to InfoCloud. Today, we are going to talk about ways to motivate people. And this approach isn't just for language learners.
Today, we are going to talk about the carrot and stick method. First, let's look at the carrot. This is a way of saying that you provide some sort of reward to inspire people.
A carrot is a reward. Imagine suspending a carrot on a string tied to a pole in front of a horse or donkey. The horse wants to eat the carrot, so it moves forward.
And if you keep the carrot in front of it, it will keep moving towards it. The carrot is hung from a pole with a string to keep the carrot in front of the horse.
But a stick refers to a punishment. So if someone talks about using a carrot and stick approach, that means both reward and punishments can be used.
The company uses the carrot and stick method to reward sales. Everyone who makes more than the monthly average in sales gets a bonus. Everyone who doesn't make the minimum in sales gets a pay cut. In this case, the carrot is the bonus and the stick is the pay cut.
很多人都看过卡通或漫画里有人骑着一匹马或骡子，手上拿着绑着胡萝卜的棍子在他面前晃，马为了吃它就会拼命地往前跑。Carrot 代表诱因奖励，Stick 代表惩罚或威吓，所以 Carrot and Stick approach 胡萝卜与棍子就是指软硬兼施的奖惩方法。有时候父母可能需要用这种方式来帮助孩子们成长。Parents sometimes need to use the carrot and stick approach with their children. 如果一家公司使用一种奖惩制度管理员工，也可以说 That company uses a carrot and stick approach. 如果员工表现得好，就给胡萝卜；如果不好，那就要给棍子了，要处罚了。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
What does a stick have to do with... Oh, well, welcome back to Studio Classroom, where we are learning with a lesson called The King Who Hated Old People. So he sent some old people away, and there was one young advisor who did not send his father away. He kept his aged father in his house, hidden. Now, a stick is introduced to the story, and I'm wondering why. Let's find out.
The King Who Hated Old People. If you tell him which end of the stick comes from the higher part of the tree, he will leave your kingdom alone. If you answer incorrectly, he will conquer you and make slaves of you all. You have 7 days. The king called his advisors and said, "You are the children of my father's advisors. Bring me the answer to this riddle." But they had not tilled the soil or worked in the forests as the old king's advisors had. 6 days passed. The advisor who had refused to send his father away told him about the riddle.
OK， 接下来我们看的是 conquer 这个动词 ，Q-U-E-R 这个字根有寻找的意思，所以 conquer 是指征服或击败。例如 ，most countries in Europe were conquered by the Roman Empire during its prime。欧洲的多数国家在罗马帝国全盛时期都被它征服了。conquer 也指克服某个困难。例如 ，Jacob conquered his acrophobia because his job requires a lot of flying。Jacob 因为工作需要常常飞行，所以克服了惧高症。如果字尾加上 or，conqueror 就是指征服者或胜利者。例如 People in this country were brutally oppressed by their conquerors. 这个国家的人民被征服者残暴的压制。最后我们看的是 till 这个动词。till 是指耕作或耕种。例如 these farmers till their land with the latest model of tractors. 这些农夫用最新机型的耕耘机来犁田。或者是 this piece of land has been tilled by this family for almost 50 years. 这个家族耕耘这片田地已经将近50年之久。或者是 the farmer tilled the soil thoroughly before sowing the seeds. 这位农夫在撒种之前先把田里的土壤彻底的翻过。And now let's get back to our teachers.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Now we have a stick, and this stick is a very important part of our lesson. If you tell him which end of the stick comes from the higher part of the tree, he will leave your kingdom alone. And before we continue with this challenge or this threat from another kingdom, let's take a look at the phrase to leave someone alone or to leave people alone. That means to not bother somebody or not bother a group of people.
For example, I was out walking in the park and I saw a dog. The dog saw me. And then the dog just wouldn't leave me alone. I think he knew that I had food.
That's really funny. Mm-hmm. Have you ever gone on a hike up behind our office here?
Oh, yes, I have.
And did you ever run into that pack of dogs who like to run after people?
You mean the mean dogs?
The mean dogs, they just won't leave people alone. You need to run away.
It was actually really scary. It got to the point that I wouldn't actually walk by where the pack of dogs usually were unless there was someone else on the trail. Mm-hmm. I would wait for someone to come with me.
Well, friends, nobody likes to be bothered by mean dogs. You know, this phrase also makes me think of bullies at school. You might say, "Leave me alone, man," if you're being picked on by a bully. Although bullies usually pick on you even more if you say things like that.
Yes. Well, right now, speaking of bullies, it almost seems like this one kingdom, or the messenger, you know, the kingdom, that kingdom, they're kind of acting like a bully to the other kingdom, right?
Yeah, what's up with that? Okay, so now there's this stick, okay? If you could tell him which part of the stick comes from the higher part of the tree, he'll leave your kingdom alone. If you answer incorrectly, he will conquer you and make slaves of you all. That sounds pretty terrible. But let's take a look at this wonderful phrase, to make something of somebody else. Okay, this means to turn somebody into something else, or like the way it's used in our lesson, to kind of give them a new identity somehow.
For example, maybe a teacher might say to her students that aren't doing very well on their tests, "I will make A students out of all of you yet."
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's a great goal for any teacher to have, is to help even the poorest students to get their grades up. I'm going to make A students out of all of you.
That's right. But unfortunately, in our lesson, we're not talking about turning people into A students. We're talking about turning these people into slaves.
Okay, and so there's an ultimatum, we would say. You have 7 days, okay? They have 7 days to figure out which part of the stick comes from the higher part of the tree. Okay, so the king called his advisors and said, "You are the children of my father's advisors. Bring me the answer to this riddle." We could say that the king summoned those advisors, and that word does not appear in our lesson, but if you summon somebody, that means you request the appearance of somebody, and it's usually done by someone in authority. Someone in authority will summon people to come before him.
Now, this reminds me of the story of Queen Esther. You can find her story in the Bible, and back in those days, it was actually a crime to go before the king unless the king had summoned you. Well, in this case, Queen Esther felt like she needed to go talk to the king, even though she hadn't been summoned.
Right. Well, the king in our lesson did summon some people. He called his advisors around, and he wanted some advice because, and I think this is so interesting, the reason he appeals, or the way he appeals to them, is he says that they are the kids of their fathers, of his father's advisors.
Right. He doesn't say, you are my advisors. You are the children of my father's advisors.
Okay, so does he appreciate his father's advisors or not?
You know, that's a really good question. I don't know.
Right.
Now, I'd like to talk about this more, but right now we really do need to go to the SC challenge.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SC challenge. And let's meet our very competitive couple. We have over here.
Hello, everyone. This is Josh, and I'm back to win this time.
Hi, friends. I'm Pauline. I did beat this guy last time, and maybe I'll do it again today.
Okay. As I told you, we have a competitive couple right here in the studio. And let's see who's going to win. Well, today's lesson is called The King Who Hated Old People. Sounds like an interesting lesson. First question I have is, what did one advisor hide in his house? A, his father, B, his dog, C, his friends, or D, his computer? Yes. Oh, Josh, we'll start with you.
His friends.
His friends. No, that's not correct. Okay, Pauline, and your answer.
His father.
A, his father. That is correct. Good job. Pauline has 1 point. Josh, you might get the next one. Question number 2. What would happen if the king answered the riddle incorrectly? A, his people would become slaves. B, his people would be set free. C, his people would be happy. Or D, his people would cook dinner. Yes, Pauline.
His people would be freed?
No, that's not correct. Josh?
His people would be enslaved?
Yes, that is correct. His people would become slaves. 1 point for Josh, 1 point for Pauline. This is the game point. Here it goes. Number 3. What was wrong with the king's advisors? A, they didn't have much experience in the forests. B, they were too young. C, they were inexperienced. Or D, all of the above. Yes, Pauline.
All of the above?
D, all of the above? That is correct. Good job. That gives Pauline 2 points. Josh has 1. So the winner today is Pauline. Good job. And friends, I know that you were able to guess the answers as well. We'll see you next time. So Gabe, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think everyone is going to be okay?
Usually these stories turn out okay.
Okay.
I'm just curious, I mean, is it that hard to figure out which end of the stick came from the higher part of the tree? Maybe someone who understood physics could figure it out.
Well, I think it's interesting. Yes, right. I don't know. Well, anyway, friends, thank you for joining us today. But come back as we continue this story right here on Studio Classroom.
A friend endures at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.